I was at dinner with a friend the other night, and they ordered onion rings without the batter. And the waitress was confused, and I thought about it for a second. I said, "So, sauteed onions then?" Welcome back to the channel.
Welcome to CK4RC.
You may have already noticed I've got 3 of the best 18 scale RTR crawlers on the bench today. I've got the Red Cat Ascent18, probably the best brushed RTR crawler on the market. I've got the Fury Tech FX118 Fury Wagon on the bench, one of the best brushless RTRs that you can get. And then I've got the Hobby Plus Evo Pro, but this one is not the brushed version. This is the Fury Tech upgraded brushless version as well. So I've got 2 brushless rigs, a brushed rig, and we're going to see what they're capable of. So I made this handy dandy scoreboard. Look at this. Here it is. Fury Wagon, Evo Pro, it's the brushless one. Ascent18, that's not brushless. And I'm going to look at their RTR weight. I'm going to look at their wheelbase. We're going to check out the top speed on these things. We're going to see what the flex is capable of. And then I'm going to take them for a run on the track, and we're going to see how many times I have to correct them with my hands, how many rollovers they have, things like that. I'm going to come up with a point system, and we're going to score these out at the very end to see what is the best 18 scale RTR crawler on the market today. Because honestly, these 3 right here, they're all super high quality. So which one's the best? I've seen a lot of videos where they compare 1 or 2 of these. I've never seen all of these side by side. And then, oh, I got some question marks down here. What's that about? You're going to find out, but you're going to have to stick around for it. And then at the bottom down here, there's an empty spot because there is a 5th rig, not in this video, but in a future video, I'm going to just measure out and just see what happens. But this one and the 5th one really won't have a serious impact on the results. But just for science sake, let's see what they're capable of. So let's get to the first competition and let's start checking some weight on these bad boys. Okay, so first up on the scale will be the Fury Wagon. Let that thing center up and see if I can get this to balance on here and get a weight of this rig. Now I will note that these are all bone stock, minus a few aesthetic upgrades I did to the Ascent18. Beyond that, these things are running stock electronics, stock tires and wheels, steering suspension links. I have all those upgrades for these trucks, but I have not installed them yet. I wanted to do this box stock side-by-side test before I did any upgrades. So the Fury Wagon comes in at the baseline 378.3. I don't know whether to call that hefty or what. So let's see what's the Evo Pro bringing to the table here. Evo Pro, we are looking at 396.8. Surprises me a little bit that because it is more of a comp style RTR, that it's bringing out the weight. Because typically for a comp scale, for a comp rig, you do want some weight, but you want it in the right place. But overall, you want your rig to be as light as possible. And then we got the Ascent18 bringing the big old bottom with a 438.1. Goodness gracious. All right, we will move on next to the wheelbase. All right, let's get back to the Fury Wagon and check this wheelbase measurement here. So I'm going to go from the center of the back wheel to the center of the front wheel, and we are looking right at, I'm going to call it 6 5/16. That's what I'm going to call that. So let's get that on the board. Fury Wagon, 6 5/16. Okay, that's the baseline. Let's see what the Evo Pro brings to the table, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay, again, middle of the tire, or middle of the wheel to middle of the front wheel, and we are looking at, I'm going to call this 6 1/4. That's what I'm going to call that, right at 6 1/4. And then finally, we've got the Ascent18 to bring into the table. There we go. Okay. And let's see what we're looking at here. Center of the tire to center of the tire, and we've got right at 6 inches, 6-inch wheelbase. Next up is the good old-fashioned flex test. I got this super cool flex ramp 3D printed from one of my friends in California. Did a fantastic job with this. So what I am going to do is try to get this front wheel on the ramp and keep the other 3 tires planted on the ground. Not quite. And then I need to see where the center of the wheel is on the ramp. It'd be a little bit easier to do this if I had them on, but I don't. So we are looking at exactly 50 millimeters on the flex for the Fury Wagon. It's probably a pretty good standard to set. Next up, just going in order, we got the Evo Pro. This one should outflex it. Oh boy, howdy. Boy, howdy. Okay, we are just off the table right there. Get that lined up, and we are looking at, goodness gracious, I'm going to call that 60. We got 10 more millimeters of flex on the Evo Pro than we did over the Fury Wagon. I expected more flex, but I did not expect that much more. And then coming out of the box stock, Ascent18, Fury Wagon, I need you to back it up. Or not Fury Wagon, Evo Pro. Make sure we got all 3 wheels touching, making contact. There we are. And we are setting right at, I'm going to call it 50 millimeters as well. So the Ascent18 and the Fury Wagon have the least amount of flex, both tied for second, with Evo Pro just crushing both of its competitors in the flex test. All right, up next is the speed test. We're starting off with the Fury Wagon, just like we have with every other test so far. I've got a 16-foot track lined up, and I've got my buddy over here ready to hit the stopwatch for me. I'm ready when you are, bub.
3, 2, 1, go.
And across the line.
4 seconds and 95 milliseconds.
4.95, impressive. All right, next up is going to be the Ascent18. I am going to go with this one instead of the Evo Pro next, because the Evo Pro has a little trick up its sleeve. If you haven't seen my other video, you might not know what it is. If you have seen my unboxing and test drive of the Evo Pro, you should already know what it is, but we're just going to play around with that just for giggles. The Red Cat Ascent18 is ready to go when you are, bub.
3, 2, 1, go.
And across the line.
It's just a little faster than the other one. 4 seconds 75 milliseconds.
4.75. Impressive. And then our last contender pulling up to the line is the Evo Pro. Our tape measure got a little out of line, but that's all right because we still already know it's 16 feet. So this is going to be in low gear because this does have the 2-gear transmission. So I'm going to try it in low. And then, of course, just for science, you know, we're going to do it in high. So, buddy, I'm ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, it's coming down the stretch, a little slow, and across the line. 6.08. Wow, that is not impressive. The Evo Pro is lined up once again, and we are in high gear, and I'm ready when you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
Across the line.
2 seconds and 20 milliseconds.
2.2, and that was all squirrely and out of control. All right, on to the trail run, and we'll start with the Evo Pro since that is what we just had out. I did put it back down in low speed, so here we go with this. Let's see how this guy will handle the course. I have made a few adjustments to the course since the last time this truck saw it, and it is struggling with the stairway to heaven. That is wildly disappointing. I don't really know what I need to... There we go. There we go. Goodness gracious. It's giving me some fits getting down over there, but I did make it down over that crawl down, which is pretty tricky. So good job to the Evo Pro for hitting that line. Took a minute, but we made it. Over here through Hangman's Pass, I was off to a good start, and then it slid off to the side, and that was not helpful. And I am having a hard time with this line right now. Goodness, that was clunky, but I made it. So far, the Evo Pro is going where it needs to go. Get up here to Dead Man's Curve and see if we can spin around. Making the turn. Okay, the Evo Pro is actually... Uh-oh. Oh, it pulled out of that. That was nice. I put it in a bad spot and the truck pulled it out. That was actually really impressive. So let's get across this broken bridge here and see how it can handle the rest of the course. If it can handle the broken bridge, that is always a hard obstacle. Oh, but it did it. Wow, the Evo Pro, like a champion, down over the stairs and then coming back up on the end of the course. We've got Widow's Peak, and it just handled that like a champion. And into the chute and out of the chute. And the Evo Pro just mastered this course. That was really well done. Next up is the Fury Wagon. Let's see what this guy's capable of. I will note that this thing does have the worst tires out of the bunch. Oh goodness, it was a battle just to get up that first obstacle. It's already on its side. We are not off to a good start here, fellas. And ladies, who knows who's watching. Ladies and gentlemen. There we go, but we did get up here. The Fury Wagon is also going to have a hard time mounting the stairway to heaven for some reason, but that hang up again. That hang up is not doing anybody any favors right now. I can't even. Oh, the fence kind of blocked me in. I might have been able to juice it. There, oh, yep, up. I don't think there's any coming back from that. All right, so there's going to be one touch action. See if it can step down like the Evo Pro did. Nope, that did not go well. So there's going to be a second touch action. All right, so back into the back stretch of the course. Oh my goodness. I'm not even going to count that. That was just sloppy. So I'm not going to count that as a touch. I'm just going to count that as a mistake on my part and see what the Fury Wagon is capable of here on Hangman's Pass. Wow! It just took that, whoa, and handled it. Okay, now Dead Man's Curve is a really difficult, tricky spot of this course. Oh, there we go. Wow. That was mighty impressive from the Fury Wagon because that was in a really difficult spot. And it made it. That was really, really impressive. So let's see if it can get across the broken bridge here. The Evo Pro was able to make it. Oh, it pulled it out. Wow, that was really great. So then we just have to step down. We did have a rollover there as it came down, but landed on its wheels, so no penalty. Got Widow's Peak. I'm just going to see if I can punch it up over that. That worked out pretty good. And then we are coming into the chute. And it handles the chute really well and across the line. And we've got the Ascent18 on the track. Here we go. It's off to the smoothest start of any of the trucks as far as mounting the log pile. And it is coming up and making, well, I was going to say light work of the first few obstacles, but then it just got hung up there. Just as the Evo Pro and the Fury Wagon both did as well. Get over here along this side. And that's also not going to work for me here. That is interesting. See if I can use this log over here to help. But no. Huh. That is a big surprise for me. So if I can get all four tires mounted up on here, it should be able to pull itself up with no problem. And just like the other two rigs, it has high pointed on this transition right here. But, well, I am not going to be able to wiggle my way the way that I was hoping to. I did end up doing it, but not as smoothly as I had in mind. Now here is always a difficult transition right here, this stair step. Oh, but the Ascent handles it. Wow. So get back here on the back half. Hangman's Pass right there. You started to see why I call it Hangman's Pass, because it started to hang me out to dry right there. The Ascent18 is not wanting to mount this obstacle the way that the Fury Wagon and the Cayman Pro both took it. I thought I was getting a better line right there, but it ended up sliding down over that gap on the back side. And it just keeps sliding right in that hole. I can't get that front passenger side tire quite where I need it. Ah, all right. So here is one touch action to get past Hangman's Pass. It's actually a little disappointing. I expected more from the Ascent18, but sometimes things happen. So up here through Dead Man's Curve, and I am in a really bad spot. I might be able to salvage this. All right, that is not how the course was designed to be run, but I got the hard part. So a second touch action right there. That was just sloppy. The truck did what it needed to do to get turned around, but then it ended up rolling off in a very unfortunate position. Did handle the broken bridge with ease, so that was impressive. And that was just a bad line coming down. So there's another touch action. So is that my third touch, I believe? Ugh. All right, I'm not going to count that because other times I moved it forward and didn't put it back on the same obstacle. And then here we are coming into the home stretch. Widow's Peak. Oh, I bumped it over, but then I let off the gas too soon. And into the chute, handling that relatively well, and across the line. All right, we're back down here on the bench. What'd you call me? Oh, that doesn't seem the most appropriate. Anyway, we got the rigs back down here on the bench, and I have the score sheet all calculated and totaled up, figured up, whatever you want to say. I don't want to reveal the total final scores yet, so I don't want to do that. What I did was I went through each one of these, and I gave 3 points to the rig that had the best measurement for each category. Since there's 3 rigs, I gave 3 points. Since this one is a mystery, I did not factor it in with a 4th point, but I did score it out as if it was involved in the 3-point face-off. And anyway, what we came up with was the Fury Wagon coming in with a solid 8 points. Not bad, a max. Think about this. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories, maximum 15 points. Fury Wagon got 8 of them. The Evo Pro, 9 points. Woo! The Ascent18 coming in with 3. That was worse than expected. I will say that because the Ascent18 is a fantastic rig. The score doesn't reflect it. It's a great truck. You cannot go wrong with those. I have 2 of them because I like it so much. And then down here on the bottom, I was just curious because I have one and it is 18 scale. What does an extra axle do for a truck in a competition like this? Well, the Atlas 6x6 came up with nothing. I thought maybe having the extra axle on the course run would come in handy and add some, maybe a little extra stability, maybe a little extra push and pull. It just didn't. It didn't work very well. So with all of this in mind, we have winner's podium up here. The Evo Pro coming in first place out of arguably the 3 best 118 scale RTR rigs out there. So those are my results. Let me know what you think. Were you surprised by the results? Do you have any of these trucks? Do you want any of these trucks? Leave me a comment. Hit that quadfecta, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And then go to Only RCs. I went with the micro crawler shirt because I did a micro crawler competition. Use my discount code down in the description. Get 20% off your order. Keep doing RC stuff, and I'll see you next time.